From WYLN Hazleton, this is WYLN's late edition, News at 10, with meteorologist Joe Garbacek, sports with Beth Mensinger, anchors Lisa Sugar and L.A. Tyrone. News, weather, sports, features, and more. You're watching WYLN's late edition, News at 10.
Good evening and welcome to WYLN's late edition for Monday, September 9th, 2013. I'm Lisa Sugart. FunFest 2013 is now in the books and it was a tremendous success. Tonight, Ann Ganley recaps the fun and festivities. Plus, would you know if your water bill increase was legitimate or the result of a leak? We'll explain. In sports, L.A. Tyrone's in for Beth tonight. He has the Lady Preppers and the Lady Crusaders on the volleyball court. Plus, meteorologist Joe Garbacek is here with your 7-day forecast. But first, late edition's look at tonight's top stories. 11th District Congressman Lou Barletta announced tonight he will indeed vote no on Syria.
There's a lot of questions that the president needs to answer for me to vote yes to attack Syria. You know, I need to know what is the goal, what is the plan, what are we prepared for the unintended consequences, which I believe are inevitable if we send missiles into Syria.
Now that was the Congressman's feelings Friday as he talked live on WYLN's Topic A with L.A. Tyrone and Dave Yonkai. Apparently he didn't get his questions answered. Tonight he released an official statement explaining why he'll vote no. Barletta said, quote, "Earlier this evening I received a classified briefing on the facts of the situation in Syria. I learned about the chemical weapons attack and the possibility of actions going forward. After reviewing and considering all of the facts, I cannot in good conscience vote in favor of an American military attack in Syria." And he reiterated what he told us Friday, saying, quote, "I have too many concerns that have not been addressed. I do not believe the necessity of American involvement has been demonstrated, nor do I believe that an adequate plan has been offered," unquote. It was a freak accident with tragic results. The now closed St. Mary's of Chestochoa Church in Swoyersville collapsed during demolition this morning. It crashed on top of the machinery being used to demolish it, killing the man operating it. John Bedarick, owner of Bedarick Excavating, witnesses said the steeple toppled onto an excavator around 11:40 this morning. Emergency crews from all over the west side worked feverishly, along with Bedarick employees and crews from the Buck Mountain Quarry to pull him from the debris. He was alive and talking to rescue crews as he was loaded onto an ambulance, but died at the hospital. As you may remember, Bedarick was the contractor who did successfully raise the former Hotel Sterling in Wilkes-Barre. Police say witnesses heard upwards of 10 gunshots late last night, both inside and outside of a West Hazleton residence. Tonight they need your help to find the men they believe are responsible. It happened here at 227 East Broad Street in West Hazleton. Police Chief Brian Buglio explains that officers were dispatched around 12:15 last night.
Upon arrival, the officers did find one victim, which was a gunshot victim. He was transported to Geisinger, Wyoming Valley. At this time, we're investigating it. We're doing numerous interviews, going over surveillance tapes, and we're attempting right now to identify the shooters.
The chief told us he does not believe this was a random act of violence.
I believe the victim was targeted specifically in this incident, and it wasn't just a random shooting. They knew exactly who they were looking to shoot, and obviously had their specific reasons why.
20-year-old Joshua Crutch of West Hazleton suffered a gunshot wound to his lower leg, while 21-year-old LaShawn Williams, also of West Hazleton, suffered lacerations and contusions to his face.
Anybody that saw anything, maybe was driving by, saw the vehicle leaving. We do know the vehicle did go down East Broad Street and then went north on 2nd Street to Boundary. So if anybody in that area maybe saw anything or can get us a description on the vehicle, we're asking them to call the West Hazleton Police Department.
Now, Crutch was transported to Geisinger, Wyoming Valley with non-life-threatening injuries. Williams was taken to Hazleton General for evaluation. Police from Hazleton and Butler Township, along with the State Police Forensic Services Unit, all assisted at the scene. 3 men were seen running from the house. The getaway vehicle was described as a small black sedan. If you saw or heard anything again, please call West Hazleton Police at 455-3733 or else dial 911. Hazleton police responded to an altercation at Diamond Avenue and Alter Streets. Police term it an assault. They say witnesses reported seeing two Hispanic males involved. They left in a small black vehicle. Again, if you saw anything or have any information, call Hazleton Police at 459-4940 or else dial Luzerne County 911. And a couple held up a cab driver at knife point on Hazleton's northwest side. It happened here at 17th and James Street Sunday afternoon around 2:15. The victim was not injured, but the suspects made off with an undetermined amount of cash. Both assailants are white. The man is said to be about 6 feet tall with a blonde crew cut. The woman about 5 foot 6 inches tall with auburn hair worn in a bun. She was wearing a purple top and jeans. Anyone with information is asked to call City Police or Luzerne County 911. Teachers in the Wilkes-Barre Area School District will have a new contract. The Wilkes-Barre Area School Board did vote 5-1 tonight to approve the new 4-year deal at its meeting. The terms of that new teacher's contract have not yet been released. Some weekend vandalism on Hazleton's northwest side. Vandals damaged this railing at the Diamond Methodist Church at the corner of Diamond Avenue and Locust Street. Not exactly sure when it happened. City police are investigating. If you heard anything or live nearby and saw anything, call police at 459-4940 or again, dial Luzerne County 911. There was a fatal accident in Hanover Township over the weekend. It happened Saturday night on Middle Route near the junction with Route 29. Hanover Township Police said 28-year-old Adam Slamus of Warrior Run was headed south as 28-year-old Melissa Roberts of Nanticoke was headed north. They collided about 11:45 Saturday night. Slamus was killed. Roberts was taken to Geisinger Wyoming Valley Medical Center in Plains Township. Police say the accident remains under investigation. An update to a story we told you about late last year. Butler Township Police and the Luzerne County DA's office have finished a joint investigation into a December murder-suicide. They have concluded that 51-year-old John Walton killed his wife, 41-year-old Stacy Walton, then committed suicide. It happened on December 17th in their East Butler Drive home. There was a last-ditch effort to save the historic King George Inn outside of Allentown. The building in South Whitehall Township was built back in 1756. It's been owned by Cliff McDermott since 1970, but last summer he closed it, citing a big drop in business because of the recession. McDermott auctioned off the contents in December and has an agreement of sale with Hotel Hamilton, LLC. It plans to tear it down, but needs zoning approval from the township. The building is on the list of historic places in Pennsylvania. The Lehigh County Historical Society is meeting on the building Thursday. A representative from the nonprofit group Preservation Pennsylvania will talk about alternatives to demolition and potential financial resources. The developer originally planned a hotel, drugstore, and bank on the site, but has since eliminated the hotel in favor of a restaurant. A dream has finally come true for one man who wanted to create a place for children with disabilities to play. Late Edition's Ann Gownley has the details on this special dedication.
It was a dream of John Siemens, the former executive director of the Helping Hand Society of Hazleton, to have a playground for children of all ages and those with and without disabilities to play. Seaman became the executive director in 1972 and retired in 2011. It was just over 10 years ago when Seaman noticed a young boy who was at a playground watching his brothers and sisters play and asked him, "Why aren't you playing?" And the young boy answered, "Because I can't." Seaman knew from that point on that he wanted to build a playground that had equipment that would accommodate everyone. And almost $500,000 later, with the help of donations and local organizations, the John S. Seaman Playground is officially open.
This has been a dream of mine for 10 years, going back to 30 years. And a little kid in a wheelchair just got to me. So what I did was thought about what's our motor component of the preschool and make the whole playground dedicated to motor skills. And that's why it's that way.
There were many people on hand for the dedication, from board members and elected officials to those who helped build the playground and those who graduated from the Helping Hand Society. When Seaman retired in 2011, Mary Beth Cook became the executive director, and she says that she is honored to say that she knows John and to have worked with him.
I can't believe the number of people that came out to celebrate his many years of service to the Hazleton area and surrounding areas, and his love for children and all children, especially those with special needs that never were able to enjoy a playground. And it was his dream, and he did it, and we are so honored and proud to know him, and this truly is a tribute to him.
Seaman says he's very thankful to all who came out this evening and adds that all he cares about is that the children enjoy it.
I don't think I can get any more human satisfaction. I just love it. I love to hear the kids laughing. It fills me to no end. But having the mother say that I had my kid up there and he didn't want to leave, and it's just a personal pleasure.
John Seaman says he hopes that for many years to come, children of all ages with and without disabilities can come here to the John S. Seaman Playground and just be a kid. In Hazleton for WYLN's Late Edition, I'm Ann Gownley.
Thank you, Ann, and congratulations to John. There is another Democrat running for governor next year. Allentown Mayor Ed Pawlowski made it official this morning. He is in. He made his announcement in front of the $177 million hockey arena project, which will see the AHL's Phantoms calling Allentown home next year. He says he wants to bring the kind of rebirth Allentown is experiencing to the whole state. Philadelphia area Congresswoman Allison Schwartz, former Department of Environmental Protection Chiefs Katie McGinty and John Hanger, and York businessman Tom Wolfe have all announced candidacies. Treasurer Rob McCord also has expressed interest as well. As we mentioned at the top of this newscast, Congressman Lou Barletta announced tonight he was voting no on military action against Syria. The House listened to a briefing from the administration on it today. It's not clear when the House will vote, though today Senate Leader Harry Reid set that chamber's vote for a week from Wednesday. Congress is back and it's got lots to do, including Syria. Phil Doherty has more.
As lawmakers debate what to do, President Obama is talking with several national media outlets. He's pleading his case to strike Syria over its alleged use of chemical weapons. Tomorrow, he will take his appeal to the nation with a live address. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry is also continuing the call for action in Syria. Today, he spoke with the British Foreign Minister.
We're not going to war. We will not have people at risk in that way. We will be able to hold Bashar Assad accountable without engaging in troops on the ground or any other prolonged kind of effort in a very limited, very targeted, very short-term effort that degrades his capacity to deliver chemical weapons without assuming responsibility for Syria's civil war.
Meanwhile, a new national survey shows President Obama is swimming against a strong tide of public opinion. The CNN ORC International poll shows 59% do not want Congress to pass a resolution authorizing a military strike. That's even though 8 in 10 Americans believe that the regime gassed its own people. And getting back to Congress now, Syria is not the only key issues lawmakers are facing. There's a showdown over the debt ceiling. Congress has until the middle of next month to work out how to fund the government. Also, there are continued questions over the controversial NSA surveillance program. Some lawmakers want to rein in that program. A series of hearings are scheduled for this session, and analysts believe that they will be quite intense. Also on the to-do list, the Farm Bill and a major bill on sexual assault in the military.
That's Phil Doherty reporting. Well, scientists say they have created a new element, the first time it's been done, but it doesn't have many uses. INN's Carl Azus has more.
When setting the periodic table, leave room for an extra element. Researchers in Sweden say they've made one by slamming together the atoms of calcium and americium. And it's a beast. Its atomic number is 115, much heavier than lead or uranium. Its temporary name is ununpentium, much harder to say than lead or uranium. But you can't see it. Right after the atoms collided, the element disappeared in a flash of radiation. You can't find it. It doesn't exist in nature. Swedish scientists can't say they invented it. Russian researchers first made this element in 2004. And you can't really do anything with it. They say it's just not practical. Some folks might be elementally confused about why we should care at all. Well, researchers say it did confirm that the 2004 study created a new element, even for just a moment. Scientists hope that one day experiments like these could lead to the lasting creation of a new usable element. And if unum Pentium is approved by a committee combining members of the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry and the International Union of Pure and Applied Physics, say that 3 times fast, it could change the periodic table as we know it. Like everything on that chart, it's elementary.
And finally tonight, we have a traveler's advisory for the city of Wilkes-Barre. Construction will begin this Wednesday on Horton Street in the city. At 7 a.m., city crews will begin a permanent street restoration on Horton Street. The project will continue through Thursday. Horton will remain open to traffic. However, it is expected to be slow moving in that area. Motorists should expect delays and choose an alternate route if at all possible. And that is a look at tonight's top stories. Time now to get our first look at the forecast for your work week. Meteorologist Joe Garbacic outdoors tonight in the Bedrock Gardens Weather Center. Joe?
Oh, thank you very much, Lisa. It definitely is a very nice evening and night across our region. A little bit of that breeze, cool conditions, and literally you just don't feel any type of humidity in the air. But that's going to change as we start going into tomorrow and the next day. Some heat, some humidity back into the picture, but nothing like what happened in 1990 in Alabama. How about this? Over a month, in fact, 32 consecutive days with temperatures at 90 or above. Keep in mind, the heat wave, you need to have 3 or more consecutive days. How about 32 in a row? We will talk about if we'll see any 90-degree temperatures in the forecast coming up next.
For all your projects, large and small, Bedrock Gardens has it all. They are fully stocked and ready to fill your order. Rubber mulch and rubber curbing to match. Lots of color choices to pick from. Wall stone, natural stone, full pallets ready to go. Their bins are full with rich colored quality mulch that will look wonderful all season long. Finish off your fabulous outdoor space with their quality patio furniture and easy to assemble fire pits. Everything you need for your summer projects. Delivery available or just stop by and they will load you up. Bedrock Gardens, locally owned and operated. Call today.
Managing risk is more than just buying an insurance policy. At Dreyfus, our approach is different. We have 25 risk management professionals who have the tools and experience to help our clients avoid and survive unexpected events. We can help you with risk transfer, OSHA requirements, safe workplace, cybersecurity, and claims management. All of these go well beyond an insurance policy. We're also independent, so we can access dozens of insurance carriers like Grange Insurance, who can insure your auto, home, business, and life. Dreyfus Insurance since 1901 and Grange Insurance since 1935. We're committed to helping you manage risk.
Heritage SureSave, your neighborhood full-service supermarket. Come see for yourself. They have the freshest selection of meats, cheese, and produce. Baked goods made fresh on premises. They have an in-store butcher who is happy to accommodate your special orders. Be sure to stop in and check out their unadvertised specials. You'll find them throughout the store. See their flyer for weekly specials. Heritage SureSave, your neighborhood full-service supermarket. This week only at Heritage, they're offering Surefine Deli Gourmet, fresh sliced Swiss, or American cheese at $3.99 a pound. Thank you for shopping at Heritage SureSave.
WYLN TV 35, first in live sports.
Hi, I'm Ron Jaworski. For the best in local TV sports, watch WYLN TV 35.
WYLN TV 35 has it covered.
Hi, my name is Vince Papelli. I'm a former Philadelphia Eagle wide receiver and special teams guy, and for local sports coverage, I watch only WYLN 35.
WYLN TV 35, the event, not just the highlights.
When I last talked to you at the 5 o'clock hour, I showed you a little bit of some rain that was out in western Pennsylvania, and as it was making its way toward the east, some of it was going to fizzle out, but we couldn't take the threat of a stray shower or a storm, and we still put that in the forecast at least through the early overnight hours. And here's the reason why. Our Live 35 Skycast Doppler, you could see a little batch of some rain occurring, even a possibility a little bit of some thunder and lightning with this, so you see the yellows and oranges. But this is out mostly in Lycoming County, out by Williamsport. And as that makes its way toward the east, some of it could survive in the parts of our area, but a lot of that's going to continue to break up. So again, just keeping the threat of a shower or maybe isolated storm at best. But that pretty much is about it. And once this moves through, the remaining part of it, then I think things are shaping up to be good, very nice through the overnight hours, the rest of the overnight hours, and as we head into tomorrow. Our live Lehigh Tire conditions outside our station in Hazleton right now, we're at 62 degrees to be exact. Dew point numbers have been slowly creeping up there. They were in the lower 50s when I talked to you at 5 o'clock. They're now in the mid to upper 50s. They're going to continue to go up, especially as we go into tomorrow and as we go into our Wednesday. Pressure 30.10 inches of mercury, and we have been dry so far since midnight. A Robert Stevens Face and Body Almanac page for the day. Really had a tough time breaking 70. Could not do it, at least here. 69 and 46. That's below the average high and low of 75 and 55. 95 and 39, a record high and low. They still stand. 639, 723. Sunrise and sunset for tomorrow. So 70s in most locations today. Higher elevations could not quite break 70 degrees. 63 now in Shenandoah. 65 degrees in Jim Thorpe. 63 in New Angola, 64 in Berwick, as well as Bloomsburg and Monoy City. Satellites and radar. There were the storms. There was the showers. Some of the rain out toward the west, making its way toward the east. Again, not a whole lot going on. Some of this is going to continue to fall apart as it continues to make its way toward the east, but some of us may still see a shower tonight or maybe a lone thunderstorm if we're lucky. But in the wake of it, behind not a whole heck of a lot happening. In fact, skycast precipitation as we start going through the daytime hours of tomorrow with the clouds, you can see it's going to be a pretty nice looking day. I think we're going to continue to stay dry as we go into tomorrow and tomorrow night. And then later Wednesday into Wednesday night, could be looking at a couple of scattered showers, maybe a thunderstorm. And then Thursday, looks like we'll start to see some more showers and thunderstorms break out. Then we get another front coming through, and once that front passes, it's going to bring in some much cooler temperatures. But we will turn up the heat as we go into tomorrow and as we start going into our daytime hours of our Wednesday. We're going to crank up the humidity as well. Range to stay toward the south. Summer, I hate to say it, is almost gone, but it's going to feel summer-like. It is still summer, so it's going to feel like it should, even above average for tomorrow and the following day. But keep in mind, autumn begins 4:44 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Sunday, September the 22nd. Extended forecast brought to you by the Wire Guys at Division of Arc Electric. We can say hello again to the 80s tomorrow. Many locations well up into the mid to upper 80s, and the front starts to come through as we start going into our Thursday, and then it cools down into the 60s, but still pleasant conditions by the ending part of the week and going into the weekend. Our evening Pennsylvania lottery numbers: the daily 903, the big 4, 6071. Quinto numbers looking like this: 40018, and a cash 5, 13, 25, 29, 35, and 41. Lisa.
Thank you, Joe. Recapping the 35th Annual Fun Fest celebration. That story's next, right here on Late Edition.
People have a very jaded opinion of contractors. At the Wire Guys, we completely turn that experience on its head. My electrician is going to show up and wear shoe covers. Be respectful. We are the cleanest contractors that you'll ever use. Before he even starts, he's going to give you a price in writing that he's going to stick to. I want them to be your superhero when they walk out that door. Call me. If we're late, you get paid.
Hi, I'm Liz Tolan. I'd like to invite you to the first annual COPS event. It's taking place on September 21st right here at the Butler Township Community Center. This event, brought to you by WYLN 35 in Hazleton, the Greater Hazleton Health Alliance, and other area sponsors, will consist of a 5K run, 5K walk, kids fun run, open air concert, free cookout for the community, crafters, tricky trays, and so much more. Proceeds from this event will go to benefit 4 area police departments. When you call these men and the men and women they serve with, they're going to be there for you. Won't you take one day out of your busy schedule and be there for them?
We build tires, but not tires like anybody else. We build Cooper tires for people, not just cars. For chauffeurs and shuttle pilots, heavy haulers and trophy trout fishermen, which is why we've built our new Discoverer AT3 for all traction, all terrain, all the time performance. Life's a road trip. Come on, let's go.
Welcome to Robert Stevens Face and Body, Hazelton's complete skincare center. Here, our licensed specialists will consult with you to discuss your skincare needs, rejuvenate you with our special facial treatments, and apply gentle, relaxing massages to melt your tension away, using all state-of-the-art technical treatments and superior skin products. So call today and let the transformation begin at Robert Stevens Face and Body, 788-7546.
Swing to Big Bad Voodoo Daddy October 18th at the Alice E. Wiltsey Performing Arts Center at the Historic Castle in Hazleton. 2013 marks the 20th anniversary of Big Bad Voodoo Daddy's remarkable arrival onto the music scene. And today, the high-energy 9-piece ensemble continues to remind the world that it's still cool to swing big band style. Join the party. Shake and move to the groove October 18th.
Join us this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. We'll meet Sam, a beautiful 17-year-old with a promising future that is looking so much brighter now, thanks to good chiropractic care. Her story this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic.
Welcome back. Well, FunFest weekend may be over, but the memories will certainly live on. Late Edition's Ann Gownley has the recap of this year's Totally 80s weekend.
It was a fun-filled 80s weekend in downtown Hazleton as everyone celebrated the 35th annual FunFest. It was 1979 when FunFest first began and over the years has grown into a two-day event. On Saturday morning, the Auxiliary of Catholic Social Services in Hazleton sponsored the official breakfast of FunFest. There were eggs, sausage, potatoes, pastries, along with other breakfast staples for everyone to enjoy. We spoke with Neil Oberto, the Director of Catholic Social Services, on Saturday morning.
It's been a wonderful morning here. This is probably the 6th annual breakfast we've done during FunFest weekend, and it's just been a steady crowd all morning. All the proceeds from this, of course, go directly into programs and services. We couldn't do it without the help of our auxiliary and volunteers and just those from the community who come to support it. It's just wonderful, and this is the first time we're actually having it here in our family center, so it seems like that's been working out for us as well.
Broad Street was filled with vendors both Saturday and Sunday with many tasty treats for everyone. There were also events for all ages, including teen activities, Radio Disney, which was sponsored by Service Electric, and an 80s throwback party. Early Saturday morning, those headed down Broad Street had a chance to, quote, pie childhood cancer in the face. The 4Kids tour made a stop at FunFest during its 30-day tour up and down the East Coast.
Nelly's Catwalk for Kids is just something that once you get involved, you just can't turn away. It's a family function that really you can show your kids how to fundraise, and that pediatric cancer is really important to so many people, and you just need to get aware and be aware of it because it needs to change. We need to bring more awareness to it.
We thought a good awareness tool would be pieing childhood cancer awareness in the face. So we're asking for donations to pie one of our members in the face, and it's going really, really well.
On Sunday afternoon, just after 2:30, the annual FunFest parade kicked off. Floats and local organizations were decked out in 80s theme, some even playing the classic 80s hits like the Hazleton Area High School Marching Band. This year's Grand Marshal was Curtis Matern, who has been coming to the parade for more than a decade. His motorized chair was all decked out in an 80s theme, and Curtis himself dressed up like a member of KISS. And according to FunFest committee members, they say it won't be long until they are planning next year's biggest street fair in Hazleton. For WYLN's Late Edition, I'm Ann Gownley.
Thank you, Ann. A great big FunFest weekend. When we come back, LA's in tonight for Beth with sports, plus Joe recaps the forecast later on. There's still much more still ahead on Late Edition.
Tri-County
Business Machines has been serving the Hazleton area with office supplies and furniture for over 35 years. We are your local Kyocera dealer for all your digital Kyocera copiers, printers, and faxes. For exceptional reliability, sales, and service, the call to make is to Tri-County Business Machines. Tri-County Business Machines, keeping your office up to speed. Tri-County Business Machines, located at 117 East Broad Street, Hazleton. Phone 459-0754, or visit us on the web at tricountybm.com.
What do you see? Perhaps you're noticing the rusted fender or the dented side panel. Maybe the first thing your eye goes to is the worn interior. But look closer and you'll see something else. Value. At Harry's U-Pull-It, we see value in your old car, and so will others. It's the reason we offer top dollar for your car. Junker, clunker, piece of tin, your car may have many names, but at Harry's, there's only one that matters. Value. Visit one of our 3 locations today in Hazleton, Pennsburg, and Allentown.
WYLN, your first choice for locally produced shows like Chef Lou, Jentastic Sweets, Off the Beaten Path, The Storm, and more. Find out how you can stretch your advertising dollars and be a part of the WYLN TV lineup. Call 570-459-1869, extension 1302. WYLN, we're your local network.
Good evening. First half of sports underway. It's me for Beth tonight. And by the way, Fun Fest on Saturday. In honor of the occasion, I wore a Hawaiian shirt I have since the 80s. I really did. Okay, let's talk volleyball. The Lady Crusaders of Coughlin made the trip to Freeland to take on the Lady Preppers of MMI. MMI coming into tonight's game looking to continue its 2-game win streak. First set, and it's MMI getting the first score of the game on this ace by their captain, Paige Darrow. 1-0 Lady Preppers. Now we're still in the first, and it's another captain for the Preppers, Kristen Purcell, getting the ace, putting Freeland up 22-4. They were going to win the first set by a score of 25-4. Off to the second set, and it's Coughlin trying to get the offense going with this point by Nathaniela Bordeaux. Crusaders down 12-11. Lady Crusaders looking to put some more points on the board. And Carmen Garcia gets the floater over the net for the score. Crusaders down by 5 here. MMI's turn for the points with this little floater from senior Maria Corrado to end the second set. 25-14 Lady Preppers. Now it's third set. Would continue to be all Lady Preppers. Purcell now getting the defensive block and score, putting MMI up by 4. Darrow continuing to show her strength and serving with yet another ace, coming up 22-10. Lady Preppers going to win the set 25-10 and to sweep the Lady Crusaders 3-0. They improved their league record to 3-1. Now, after tonight's win, our Nate Jurgis had a chance to catch up with Freeland head coach Sean Evans and get this reaction on tonight's game and the road ahead.
Coach, big win today. You swept Coughlin. Thoughts about your game today?
The girls played rather well today. We've been coming off of, this will be our third game in a row that we've won since the beginning of season. During the middle of the match, we had one of our players go down, which is a major concern. She's our middle hitter, middle blocker. But we have girls that will be able to step up into her role. Otherwise, the girls played excellent. Setters were on point, hitters were swinging hard, and all our services went in. And Coach can't ask for anything better than that.
Road ahead now, some tough games coming up.
Right now, we're on a reschedule. We're going to be facing Myers coming up, and also Hazleton in the near future. Hazleton will be next Monday. Myers on a rescheduled date to be determined. So we'll be practicing and readying ourselves for the rest of the week for Hazleton.
Congratulations to the MMI Lady Preppers. Back with national sports in about 15 minutes or so. The Pirates cut the Steelers sign into Serena. the greatest ever. All that in about 15 minutes. Up next, Lisa with the recap. Stay here. It's Late Edition on YLN.
I've got 3 great deals for you. Here's a 2013 Mazda 3 iSport sedan, just $187 a month, sign and drive. Or this 2014 Mazda 6 Sky Active, 38 miles per gallon, $245 a month, sign and drive. Or this great 2014 Mazda CX-5 Sky Active, just $299 a month, sign and drive.
Plus, we'll give you more for your trade. Burger Mazda, just off exit 145 off ID1, Route 93, Hazleton.
Hello, I'm Tiffany Cloud. Democrat Matt Cartwright is the freshman congressman representing the 17th District in Pennsylvania, but he already has challengers for that position. In his first televised interview, one candidate, Matthew Dietz, a Republican for the 17th District seat, will join me this week on The Storm, only on WYLN TV.
Recapping tonight's top stories, 11th District Congressman Lou Barletta announced tonight he will indeed vote no on Syria.
There's a lot of questions that the president needs to answer for me to vote yes to attack Syria. You know, I need to know what is the goal, what is the plan, you know, what are we prepared for the unintended consequences, which I believe are inevitable if we send missiles into Syria.
Now that was the congressman's feelings on Friday as he talked live on WYLN's Topic A with L.A. Tyrone and Dave Yonkai. Tonight he released an official statement explaining why he'll vote no. Barletta said, quote, "Earlier this evening I received a classified briefing on the facts of the situation in Syria. I learned about the chemical weapons attack and the possibilities of actions going forward. After reviewing and considering all of the facts, I cannot in good conscience vote in favor of an American military attack in Syria." And he reiterated what he told us Friday, saying, quote, "I have too many concerns that have not been addressed. I do not believe the necessity of American involvement has been demonstrated, nor do I believe that an adequate plan has been offered," unquote. It was a freak accident with tragic results. The now closed St. Mary's of Chestochoa Church in Swayersville collapsed during demolition this morning. It crashed on top of the machinery being used to demolish it, killing the man operating it, John Bederick, owner of Bederick Excavating. Witnesses said the steeple toppled onto an excavator around 11:40 a.m. Emergency crews from all over the west side worked feverishly, along with Bederick employees and crews from the Buck Mountain Quarry to pull him from the debris. He was alive and talking to rescue crews as he was loaded onto an ambulance, but died at the hospital. As you may remember, Bederick was contractor who successfully razed the former Hotel Sterling in Wilkes-Barre. Police say witnesses heard upwards of 10 gunshots late last night, both inside and outside a West Hazleton residence. Tonight they need your help to find the men they believe are responsible. It happened here at 227 East Broad Street in West Hazleton. Police Chief Brian Buglio explains that officers were dispatched around 12:15 last night.
Upon arrival, the officers did find one victim, which was a gunshot victim. He was transported to Geisinger, Wyoming Valley. At this time we're investigating it. We're doing numerous interviews, going over surveillance tapes, and we're attempting right now to identify the shooters.
The chief told us he does not believe this is a random act of violence.
I believe the victim was targeted specifically in this incident, and it wasn't just a random shooting. They knew exactly who they were looking to shoot, and obviously had their specific reasons why.
20-year-old Joshua Crutch of West Hazleton suffered a gunshot wound to his lower leg. 21-year-old LaShawn Williams, also of West Hazleton, suffered lacerations and contusions to his face.
Anybody that saw anything, maybe was driving by, saw the vehicle leaving. We do know the vehicle did go down East Broad Street and then went north on 2nd Street to Boundary. So if anybody in that area maybe saw anything or can get us a description on the vehicle, we're asking them to call the West Hazleton Police Department.
Now, Crutch was transported to Geisinger, Wyoming Valley with non-life-threatening injuries. Williams was taken to Hazelton General for evaluation. Police from Hazelton and Butler Township, along with the State Police Forensic Services Unit, all assisted at the scene. 3 men were seen running from the house, and the getaway vehicle was described as a small black sedan. If you saw or heard anything, call West Hazelton Police. Again, their number 455-3733, or else dial 911. Hazelton Police responded to an altercation at Diamond Avenue and Alter Street. Police termed it an assault. They say witnesses reported seeing 2 Hispanic males involved. They left in a small black vehicle. If you saw anything or have any information, call City Police at 459-4940 or dial Luzerne County 911. A couple held up a cab driver at knife point on Hazelton's northwest side. It happened here at 17th and James Street Sunday afternoon around 2:15. The victim was not injured, but the suspects made off with an undetermined amount of cash. Both assailants are white. The man is said to be about 6 feet tall with a blonde crew cut. The woman is about 5 foot 6 inches tall with auburn hair worn in a bun. She was wearing a purple top and jeans. Anyone with information should call City Police or dial 911. Teachers in the Wilkes-Barre Area School District have a new contract. The Wilkes-Barre Area School Board voted 5-1 tonight to approve the 4-year deal at its meeting. The terms of the new teachers' contract have not yet been released. And as we mentioned at the top of this newscast, Congressman Lou Barletta did announce tonight he was voting no on military action against Syria. The House listened to a briefing from the administration on it today. It's not clear when the House will vote, though today Senate Leader Harry Reid set that chamber's vote for a week from Wednesday. Congress is back and it's got lots to do, including Syria. Phil Doherty has more.
As lawmakers debate what to do, President Obama is talking with several national media outlets. He's pleading his case to strike Syria over its alleged use of chemical weapons. Tomorrow, he will take his appeal to the nation with a live address. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry is also continuing the call for action in Syria. Today, he spoke with the British Foreign Minister.
We're not going to war. We will not have people at risk in that way. We will be able to hold Bashar Assad accountable without engaging in troops on the ground or any other prolonged kind of effort in a very limited, very targeted, very short-term effort that degrades his capacity to deliver chemical weapons without assuming responsibility for Syria's civil war.
Meanwhile, a new national survey shows President Obama is swimming against a strong tide of public opinion. The CNN ORC International poll shows 59% do not want Congress to pass a resolution authorizing a military strike. That's even though 8 in 10 Americans believe that the regime gassed its own people. And getting back to Congress now, Syria is not the only key issues lawmakers are facing. There's a showdown over the debt ceiling. Congress has until the middle of next month to work out how to fund the government. Also, there are continued questions over the controversial NSA surveillance program. Some lawmakers want to rein in that program. A series of hearings are scheduled for this session, and analysts believe that they will be quite intense. Also on the to-do list, the Farm Bill and a major bill on sexual assault in the military.
INN's Phil Doherty reporting, and that's a look at tonight's top story recaps. When we come back, increased water usage or a water leak. We'll explain. Plus, LA's back in with the second half of sports.
And it's a beautiful night right here in the Bedrock Gardens Outdoor Weather Center. I thought I'd take a seat here for a little bit because it is so nice out here tonight. Now we have some heat, we have some humidity to talk about in our forecast. I'll let you know when that's going to get here. But we turn back time to 1900. It was known as the infamous Galveston hurricane, 15-foot storm surge. Over 6,000 people lost their lives. It definitely was a hurricane to remember. We'll talk more about that hurricane in the last segment, and we'll talk about what we can expect with the 7-day forecast in just a few.
As a diabetic, where do I turn for the special healthcare products and advice I need?
Come into your nearby Good Neighbor Pharmacy. We specialize in the unique concerns and needs you have as a diabetic patient. Your good neighbor pharmacist has a fully trained staff, stocks a broad selection of the products you need, and takes a personal interest in your health and well-being.
Your family's good health begins with a great team. That team is the Alliance Medical Group. We're the first healthcare provider in the greater Hazleton area to offer a fully integrated approach to family and specialized medical care. Our expanding network of more than 30 physicians and specialists are trusted by thousands for routine and complex medical treatments. For a convenient appointment at any of our 15 regional offices, simply call 501-4AMG. Alliance Medical Group. Your health, that's our specialty.
We're looking for a dealer that will take the time to get to know our needs.
And hook me up with something that has some all-wheel drive and some power. Bam!
And what will you be using the car for primarily?
Cycling, snowboarding, kayaking, you know.
Gardening, antiquing, and commuting to work.
I've got just the car.
Lease a 2014 Legacy 2.5 ICVT for $159 during the Subaru A Lot to Love event.
The right car.
The right price.
The right dealer. Fairway Subaru. Yeah.
Off the Beaten Path is a half-hour program that showcases interesting and unique people, places, and things in Pennsylvania. Hosted by Jeff Bonomo, Brian Bromley, and Ken Cara, Off the Beaten Path is fast-paced, lighthearted, and sometimes even downright funny. Each show, we travel to many destinations in Pennsylvania, including restaurants, events, unique landmarks, and we talk with interesting people. So come with us off the Beaten Path.
So you get your water bill and there's a big increase. Well, it could be your water company raised your rates, but it could also be you've got a leak somewhere. INN's Jacqueline D'Acastino has more.
We often forget about the plumbing in our homes until something goes wrong. A leak, if left untreated or undetected, can lead to serious damage and costly repairs.
Leaving leaks unattended can lead to serious damage to your home. For example, a leak behind a wall could require drywall repair. A small drywall repair job could cost as much as $400.
A lot of homeowners do not go into their crawl space or their attic. Following the plumbing piping and checking those pipes often is one good way to find a leak.
It's always best to tackle plumbing leaks, even the small ones, immediately.
Easy signs of leaks in your house could be the fact that you have stains on your walls, if you have wallpaper that's buckling, for example, or even a wooden floor that's buckling.
There's a few simple ways to check if your toilet is leaking. Place a few drops of food coloring in the toilet tank and wait 15 minutes. If the food coloring has entered the toilet bowl without the toilet being flushed, you know you have a leak. You can also lay toilet paper along the base of the toilet, then flush.
If it is leaking, you'll begin to see the water wicking into the tissue paper. Or if it's dripping from the tank, it will drip down and it will hit the toilet paper and you'll see it.
It's important to know where your water shutoff valve is located in your house if you do have a leak. If you can't find it, a reputable plumber can help.
Plumber typically needs to have a trade license, a plumbing license, and you need to be sure that you're not confusing that with a business license. All companies typically need a business license to operate, but plumbing needs a plumbing-specific license.
Some very good tips tonight, so make sure that you don't have a leak. When we come back, LA's in with the second round of sports, and Joe will recap your forecast. Stay with us.
The 158th Bloomsburg Fair, September 21st through the 28th, with farm and garden exhibits, arts and crafts, educational and flower exhibits. The grandstand boasts a lineup of entertainment you won't want to miss, with 2 large TV screens, Catch the Horse Races, Tractor and Truck Pulling, and Demolition Derby, the restored schoolhouse and Veterans Memorial, rides for the whole family, and the best of food vendors. Come and enjoy a day at the Bloomsburg Fair.
Now Hazel Park Spring Water is proud to announce that they are the official water of the WILN Sports Crew and available for home delivery through J.W. Wargo Spring Water Delivery and JoJo's Beverage. Since 1915, the Kreisel family has been serving the area with quality meats. The tradition continues today with 5 generations at Hazel Park Quality Meats, 260 Washington Avenue, West Hazelton, and Redding Specialty Meats, located at 216 East 4th Street in Berwick. Here are some of this week's specials.
Watch the 2013 Schuylkill County Firefighters Parade on WILN at the following times on your screen. Join in the 150th anniversary of Monterey City only on WILN. We're your local network.
During these changing times, is your insurance program up to date? I'm local Allstate agent Gary McNeilis. I invite you to come into our office or give us a call. We'll help you be sure that you have the proper coverage to take care of all your family's needs at a price you can afford. Now more than ever, you need to be in good hands to protect everything that's important to you. Our team of insurance professionals and I will be honored to serve you. Are you in good hands?
Schumacher Engineering Incorporated, providing diversified consulting engineering services throughout the Northeast for over 30 years. Call 455-9407 for Schumacher Engineering Incorporated.
Second half of sports underway. Start with tennis. Serena Williams won her 5th U.S. Open Sunday. It's also her 17th Grand Slam win. Afterwards, she was pumped.
I just feel like I just go for broke now, and I really am focused again on what I want to do and just goals, and I'm just having a lot of fun out there. And everyone's like 31. I'm like, well, 31's old, but that doesn't seem like me. I seem like I don't act it either, so maybe that has something to do with it.
There are some commentators who are saying that Serena Williams may well be the greatest tennis player in the history of the game. Well, the Pirates have given up on James McDonald. He had been with Indianapolis on a rehab assignment while he was on the 60-day disabled list. Sunday, he was removed, recalled, and designated for assignment. McDonald was 2-2 with a 6.56 ERA this year. Ike Davis may or may not be back with the Mets next year, but they will not give him up for nothing. Davis is eligible for arbitration at the end of the season. The Mets said today they will not non-tender him. Well, once a promising player, Davis has been often injured. This year he hit just .205, 9 home runs, and 33 RBIs. And speaking of the Mets, they will play 2 exhibition games in Montreal next spring. Both will be against the Toronto Blue Jays. They will be the first big league ball games in Montreal since the Expos moved to Washington after the 2004 season. The Steelers have re-signed running back Jonathan Dwyer. Now, he was cut during training camp. The Steelers running game needs help. Gained just 32 yards on the ground yesterday and lost to Tennessee. It was horrible. Dwyer was Steelers' leading rusher last year, but came into camp overweight. And the team, frankly, questioned his commitment, didn't think he wanted to play. And finally, the Patriots have lost tailback Shane Vereen. He broke a small bone in his wrist on the first play on Sunday. He was scheduled for surgery today. Not sure whether it happened, but he'll be out for a few weeks, but likely not the entire season. Speaking of football, let's go to the scoreboards, and it's back, Monday Night Football. How about that? Robert Griffin tries to lead a comeback. Eagles were up big in this game, and RG3 led a comeback but came up short. Eagles beat the Skins 33-27. Chargers over the Texans in the first period. We jump to the majors, and you got the Orioles beating the Yankees. Kansas City loses to Cleveland. The Angels continue to sputter. And we roll on. Detroit and Chicago, Houston and Seattle. And the Pirates are beating the Rangers right now. That's not a final. The Pirates have been skidding a lot lately as well. The Reds have now pulled into a second-place tie with them in the National League Central. Let's roll on. What else we got here tonight? Cubs and the Reds. Reds finally losing for a change. The Braves beat the Marlins, and the Nationals pounded the Mets. The Nats, by the way, have been hot lately, and they're now part of that wild card race. What else we got tonight? Anything else? Yes, Diamondbacks and the Dodgers, and the Giants and the Rockies in the bottom of the second at AT&T Park. That will do it. When we come back, Joe recaps the forecast. Stay here. It's Late Edition on WILN.
All Care Home Care. the health care that you need in the comfort and privacy of your own home.
At All Care Home Care, our caring and compassionate staff of skilled nurses, occupational, speech, physical therapists, dietitian, social worker, and home health aides will give you the professional care you need. Call 459-3002.
With All Care Home Care, you will feel so much better and be able to do so much more.
Remember, it's still your choice. For your care, call us and we'll be there.
The Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home Incorporated at 542 North Wyoming Street in Hazelton, serving the greater Hazelton area since 1890 and still family owned and operated, offers convenient parking, handicapped accessibility, seating for over 150 people, casket, cremation product showrooms to accommodate traditional, cremation, and pre-planned funerals. The Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home Incorporated, 570-454-3341.
Third Base Luncheonette, still making memories after all these years.
Swing to Big Bad Voodoo Daddy October 18th at the Alice E. Wiltsey Performing Arts Center at the historic castle in Hazelton. 2013 marks the 20th anniversary of Big Bad Voodoo Daddy's remarkable arrival onto the music scene. And today, the high-energy 9-piece ensemble continues to remind the world that it's still cool to swing big band style. Join the party. Shake and move to the groove October 18th.
We talked about that infamous Galveston hurricane back in 1900, and boy, it was a dandy. Winds getting up to 150 miles per hour, and these are preliminary estimates. There could be a heck of a lot more. Again, didn't have all of the technology and records like we have nowadays in advance warnings, and because it was such a powerful hurricane, there was no way of really naming them, so at that time they named the storms where they actually hit. So in this case, Galveston, Texas. But unfortunately, anywhere between 6 to possibly in excess of 12,000 people lost their lives from that particular weather system. Live 35 Skycast Doppler, again, a batch of a little bit of some rain, maybe a few rumbles of thunder here and there, and even a little bit more as you head further out toward the west. So one or two of them may survive as they make their way into our viewing area. But again, I'm not expecting a whole lot through the overnight hours, and tomorrow shaping up to be a pretty nice looking day. Our live Lehigh Tire conditions outside our station in Hazelton, 62 degrees. That dew point number, when I talked to you a little bit earlier tonight, that was still in the 50s. This number continues to creep up, and it will continue to creep up through tonight and tomorrow, and before all is said and done, you're going to feel the humidity in the air tomorrow, and you're going to feel the humidity as we go into our Wednesday. Temperature-wise right now, 66, Wilkes-Barre-Scranton International Airport, 63 in Mount Pocono. It's 70 in Allentown, 64 in Williamsport, 66 in State College. Pittsburgh coming in now with 71 degrees. Up in the Wyoming Valley area, temperatures generally holding in the 60s. Satellite and radar, there you can see some of the precipitation making its way toward the east, getting a little bit closer to our area where we're at the TV station, but again, it's continuing to fade away as it continues to make its way toward the east, but that threat of a shower, maybe an isolated storm with a little bit of some thunder and lightning cannot be ruled out. And then once that passes, saving the way for a nice looking day for tomorrow. We got the heat, we got the humidity coming back in the picture for tomorrow and for our Wednesday, and then another front comes through. It's going to bring in some showers and thunderstorms, and once that front comes through, it's going to bring in some cooler air, low humidity, and almost you can see a taste of fall in the air because we're going to be looking at temperatures in the 60s and those overnight lows dropping into the 40s. So that's what we can
okay
expect.
Out there?
I'm just the chair just is acting weird.
Hazy, hot, and humid, but I didn't think we'd hear those terms again anymore for the rest of the year.
Yeah, and we still can have it even after the first frost. You know what that's all about.
Yeah, oh well.
Before we know it, it's going to be fall. It's going by too quickly.
I like fall.
Before I forget, I have to wish my Aunt Shirley Howard a happy birthday. She's celebrating tomorrow, so I wanted to wish her early in advance that it was her birthday.
And for you Eagles fans tonight, you got to be happy. Chip Kelly promised a lot of offense, scored 33 points tonight, although the defense almost they let the Redskins back in the game tonight.
I have to go home to an unhappy Redskin fan tonight. Yeah, he thought they were going to win
Robert
tonight.
Griffin, he gave he let it come back. RG3 he's the real deal. He's a real good
How about them not wanting to call them the Redskins because of all of that? That's
it's
good night, everybody.
You can do it, it ain't bragging. See you tomorrow.